The biggest game releases of January 2024.
Happy New Year, everybody. A new year means new months, and new months mean new games. And I'm going to be honest, after last year, which was just kind of game after game after game after game, I'm happy to report this month is kind of light on game releases. But that doesn't mean there's not some cool stuff coming out. So here are January 2024's biggest game releases.
Prince of Persia, nice. Gonna be a good one.
As
Some
always,
VR
a reminder
games.
that we strive for perfection here at IGN and consistently fall short of it, but that doesn't mean we're not trying. We're just humans. So please bear in mind we're all doing our very best to make these monthly videos thorough and 100% accurate, but games do sometimes get delayed, announced, and occasionally flat out canceled last minute. And of course, the rogue clerical error or oversight does happen from time to time. Last month, we completely forgot
just don't blame Max.
RPG Asgard's Wrath 2, which hit the newer MetaQuest headsets on December
Asgard's
15th,
Wrath 2.
and it should not be slept on if you're one of those MetaQuest headset owners. IGN gave this game a 10 out of 10, and
that one
we're
should
not
be
the only
good.
ones who are so stoked about it. As of me shooting this video, it is sitting at a
They got Matt Mercer playing Loki in that, by the way.
Very, very good.
Your fate is mine.
That one's gonna be cool.
Meanwhile, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2
Oh,
is
that one looks immaculate.
last month, and in the last video I speculated that the guy who plays Captain Titus would come out at the Game Awards on stage and announce the new release date, which I guessed would be in April. I got a third of that right. We did get a release date, but it's September 9th, and the news came by way of a new trailer, not the Space
September
Marine
9th.
himself. Anyway,
Can
I'm
be
kind of
good.
skeptical of having a hard release date locked down so far in advance, so now I'm guessing it gets delayed. Just a hunch. Prove me wrong.
Fair enough.
Make the Emperor proud, you interstellar jarheads. Make a cool game that comes out on September 9th.
My pledge is eternal service.
It's gonna be so good though. Yeah. Space Marine
But I
2.
digress. You're not here for December's games or September's games. You're here to talk about what's coming out in January. If you're not already depressed thanks to seasonal affective disorder compounded by a post-holiday crash, kick that misery into overdrive with War Hospital, a strategy
War
game about
Hospital.
treating injured soldiers in a World War I field hospital, which is such a
What?
bleak premise, it's almost comical. That was supposed to be out last year, but it got delayed, and on the 11th, it is finally hitting PC, PS5, and Xbox Series.
That's strange. I don't know what to think of that one.
On the 15th, if you're somehow already bored of Baldur's Gate 3, Sovereign Syndicate might scratch a similar itch. It is a Victorian steampunk isometric
Sovereign
RPG. The combat system
Syndicate.
uses tarot cards instead of dice. That's on PC. Also on PC that same day is Time Survivors, and as the title suggests, this is a Vampire Survivors-like that is less about bloodsuckers and more about...
Yeah, I can't play games like this.
But I'm guessing they're not really
Way
going
too much going on.
historically accurate here. Partially because it features Abraham Lincoln killing triceratopses with an oscillating gauntlet of giant morning stars, but also because the tagline is the most historically inaccurate roguelike ever made.
There's a lot going on the screen. Okay.
On the 18th is one of the first big games
Prince
of
of
the year.
Persia.
Ubisoft's
be
rebooted
good.
2.5D Metroidvania spin on Prince of Persia.
I like
The
Prince of
Crown,
Persia.
Which has some very promising buzz already. Not only is that coming to basically everything, it is also getting a demo a week before launch. which
Ooh,
is
I gotta
nice.
play
So if you're on
that.
the fence about that, you can take it for a spin on the 11th.
Absolutely. I'll play the demo.
Bulletstorm VR was supposed to be out last month, but that got delayed to this month, and on the 18th it is finally out for all of those funny little VR headsets that you put on your head like a hat and then play the games with it. Go on, go do that.
I need you here.
Bulletstorm VR.
Also on the 18th is Fractured Veil, a survival game set on scenic tropical
do.
Maui, but 100 years in the future, when everything is even more horrible than it already is now. Therefore, you have to build
Fractured
a fort out of
Veil.
garbage and then fight mutants using a weaponized ukulele, because video games.
That doesn't look too
Then
good.
on the 19th for PC, there's Retro Wave World, a stylized racing game that looks like a playable version of that Lamborghini
Nice.
monster that they sold at the Scholastic Book Fair in the 1990s. If you understood that reference, you might also be nostalgic for a car game with way sexier graphic design and way cooler music than was actually prevalent in the 1980s. Look, I know, I love Patrick Nagel and Desert Chrome and the Drive soundtrack, but sometimes I wish we'd get an authentically ugly throwback 80s game that was a little less neon bikinis and Ferrari Testarossas and a little more beige sweaters and Chrysler LeBarons.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why that's not in higher demand. Apologies if you don't
Good
care
luck.
about my unpopular opinions, but YouTube's video algorithm seems to favor longer videos these days. So the
You pay
occasional
95 pounds
without
for
that
shoes,
runtime.
bro?
On the 19th, the Nintendo Switch gets another code, Recollection, which is a remake of the
What is
narrative
that?
puzzle adventure Nintendo DS game Trace Memory, known as another code, Two Memories outside of North America, and its Wii sequel, another code R, A Journey into Lost Memories, which was never released.
This looks pretty
inside.
good.
If you're able to decode any of that, you'll probably do just fine solving some puzzles in the video game I just told you about. Also on the 19th, The Last of Us Part 2 gets
Last of
official
Us Part
PS5
2
remastered.
remastered.
There's a whole new roguelike mode called No Return,
What?
plus some lost levels with director commentary, a guitar free play mode, plus all of the bells and whistles you might expect from a next-gen port. That's $70
Hell
online
yeah.
for the first time, but it's only a $10 upgrade if you already own
$70?
Last of Us Part 2, physically or digitally on PS4,
Sony, bro,
which isn't too
greedy.
terrible considering all of the stuff they added. On the 23rd, the dark fantasy FPS puzzle action game Graven leaves early access on PC, and this one wears its Heretic inspirations on its sleeve, or I guess the sequel.
Graven.
I feel like everybody remembers Hexen better, but I played a ton of Heretic.
I don't
and
know nothing
specifically
about
remember
this.
loving the cheat codes. If you typed cock-a-doodle-doo, it turned you into a chicken, and you could run around pecking people in first person. And if you tried to use the God mode cheat code from Doom,
I
it
won't
just
be
killed you
playing that.
instantly, which is pretty funny. Great game. Anyway, will Graven let you turn into a chicken? I don't know, but if
Probably
you turn into
not.
a chicken to play it on PC, it will be coming to consoles later in the year.
There you go. Raven.
On the 24th, PC players have their choice of Roots of Yggdrasil, which is a post-Ragnarocalyptic Norse roguelike city builder.
Roots of
Shrouded in
Yggdrasil. I've seen this. I've actually played this, I think.
action
It's a good
RPG.
one.
You think we got enough genres in there?
Should be finally over. You don't sound sick, by the way.
On the
I'm
25th,
glad.
Apollo Justice Ace Attorney trilogy is coming to everything. That collects Ace Attorney,
Apollo Justice,
as well
Ace
as
Attorney.
Knights
Hell
of the
yeah.
Sixth Ace Attorney outing.
I love Ace Attorney.
Spirit of Justice, and this will be the first time that those games.
Better than my brother. He sees a pair of shoes, he'll probably get rid of them and buy a new pair. That's crazy.
Games on a big shelf in their study. Next
Okay,
to all their
that's fine.
bound law books.
Did I Yeah. Yeah, Pizza, you did it single-handedly.
The 26th is shaping up to be a
Tekken 8.
day for people who like video games where hot dudes with
Damn
crazy
right.
pop their shirts off and punch each other. And really, what day isn't? But the 26th in particular sees the release of Tekken 8, which is the latest fully new-gen installment of the long-running brawler. This one's coming out swinging with a 32-character roster and a whole heat system, which, as you might expect, involves a status bar that will cause characters
We're gonna play
to have
Tekken 8 demo
to
today.
presumably punch each other harder than they do normally. That's on new-gen and PC.
Ooh. Tekken 8.
Another series famous for its hot
Like a Dragon,
hitting each
Infinite
other
Wealth.
Like a Dragon.
Man, I gotta
Known as Yakuza,
catch up.
The newest installment in the long-running series, Infinite Wealth, will see longtime protagonist Kazuma Kiryu teaming up with its newer
You've
hero,
played one of the
Kasuga.
Tekkens, you've had
Kasuga
to.
took the reins in 2020's Yakuza Like a Dragon. The historically real-time beat-em-up combat shifted to a turn-based system, and that's still mostly the case here, but Kiryu has a special move where he just wails on dudes in real time.
Hell
despite
yeah.
all the other combat being, like a
Sounds like Kiryu.
That's one of the many
My
hilarious
dog.
things this game has going for it. It's also the biggest map of any game in the series to date by a sizable margin, and there's an entire Animal Crossing style minigame where you collect fruit and build chairs and
Yeah.
manage an island resort. But you also have to fight off
Looks
waves
dope.
of dudes who show up on your beach because it's funny, I guess. I don't know. I was telling myself that this would be the month where I'd finish some of my 2023 backlog, but then I remembered that this game is coming out, which is going to monopolize my time. Anyway, that's on everything but
Yeah, Yakuza's good, bro. Like a Dragon, Infinite
At some
Wealth.
point in January, we are expecting 2 games to hit PC, but we don't have dates for them quite yet.
What is
There's
it?
Pal World, which you may know
Pal
better
World.
as Pokemon with guns, which is exactly what it looks like.
What?
And Cannibal Tales, which involves eating human flesh. So, as of this recording, no exact dates for those, but
What the
they're slated
hell?
for January, so keep an eye out. And there you go. But before we go, here's a friendly reminder that IGN Playlist is a very convenient way to keep track.
I have this,
what you
by the
wanna
way,
play, What
guys.
you're currently playing,
Yep.
what you already played, what you never want to play.
Download this app. It's
Hey,
very cool.
Here's a handy dandy QR code that'll take you to a list of this month's releases, hand curated by our producer, handy dandy Amanda Medina. Hopefully that helps. As always, what do we forget? What are you looking forward to? Let us know in the comments below. Happy New
Very
Year,
cool.
everybody. I will see
Good
you
app.
in February, the Kissers month. Mwah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the biggest game releases of January. Our World sounds kind of cool.